well. I did not expect to have won.
Me neither.
I didn't. And then hearing that you got the final shot.
That was like my only kill of the game.
Yeah, you got one. It was the only one that mattered.
I was
though.
pacifist until it came to the bloodbath at
Yeah,
the end.
yeah. It was the only one that mattered.
It was okay. So it was kind of hard to see in the video, but the way they edited in the video was, or I think in James's video talks about it much more. But we thought that we thought at the end that both me and James's guns were out of bullets because his was actually, mine was just jammed, so that was the problem. Like I just kept like jiggling it and shooting, and then I noticed eventually BBs were coming out.
Yeah.
I was like, I guess I'm back in it because we thought we were gonna lose because we didn't have anything. I
remember hearing that. I mean, you guys both had no bullets, I think, and that's why I ran out and was just like, one of us has to make a move, and we're all just standing here. That really was one of the biggest reasons it took me by surprise that we won, because I was like, we just had no bullets left.
Yeah, it was like we're just in a really good spot. Like the person that we were shooting at, I think it was some creator. I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
He was just like, he had to poke his head out. He was like hiding below. And
was he holding his balloons, or was he?
No,
because you're not allowed to.
He wasn't hiding it. It was just he was hiding under something, and we were hiding to the side of
something.
Oh
yeah.
So his balloon had to come up for him to shoot.
Yeah.
So I was kind of just shooting the balloon. But that was such a rush, and then we lost the second game.
And you did the second game. I don't even count. It didn't really happen.
He cut it out. Actually, did you know that?
Yeah, he didn't even use the second game.
Yeah, it was in there for like the beginning, and I think he realized people didn't really care about the second game.
Oh, he snipped it out later.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one that like some Minecraft YouTubers won or something.
Oh, wow.
But I guess I would imagine because Mr. Beast is so like analytical, he saw a huge drop off after the first game. So he's like, well, the second game didn't happen.
I have never thought about.
Like we're the champions.
Yeah. I didn't know the video turned into like being about us then, because before it was so split up, it didn't really feel like it was too much about us.
Yeah, it was. We looked like so much cooler. It looked like it was such a high stakes one game.
I was half not expecting to actually receive the money.
Really?
Because I thought that it was just like, it was a fun idea.
Yeah, like that was our test to be like, is Mr. Beast real?
We had to prove it for ourselves.
And he just like DM us like, all right, content creator secret.
Yeah.
But now he just goes, what's your PayPal? And
yeah.
then we go, it's this.
And then it actually appears there, and you're like,
well,
33 $33,000. Do you remember what you did with that?
I think I just put it away.
You just sat there with it?
I was just like, this goes in the bank, and I'm not touching it. This is going into savings.
Yeah, you're like, it's gonna have interest.
yeah. Did you do anything with it?
I used some of it to go to a trip to go on a trip to Japan.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
I went for like a week. It was really, really nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed Kyoto most. Ooh. Have you ever been?
Yeah, I went to Japan with my family like 2 or 3 years ago. I want to go back with friends. I think that'd be fun. But I did go to Kyoto for like a couple days during that trip. What did you do?
Oh, I really just walked around to all the different temples and shrines and, walked through the bamboo forest. And
I think I did that. Was that the one with like the red gate line? The 1,000 red things?
1,000 red things? What?
No,
no, that was a different one. No, that's a different shrine.
Gotcha.
But that was amazing too. I did that. Ooh, that was so much fun. I love Japan. I'd like to go back someday.
Same. I want to go back and see a Hatsune Miku concert.
Oh shit! Don't they do those in the U.S. sometimes though?
Yeah, but I wanna see her in her homeland.
Oh yeah, the authentic Hatsune Miku.
Oh yeah, I love that girl. She's my favorite person in the whole entire world. All right, we can go to the next question.
All right.
What do you think? What would you say is something all interviews? Shit. I'm not a popcorn reader.
Okay.
What would you say is something all interviewers should know while interviewing people? What would you say makes a good interview?
Oh,
I will be taking notes.
Okay.
For my own interview.
I feel like it's, I don't know, allowing people to continue to expound on a thought naturally and switch subjects naturally. When I first started interviewing, I'd ask a question, then they'd tell me the answer. and then I would ask the next question.
Like,
Like,
awesome.
yeah,
We got it.
yeah. Like, so how did you get started? They'd tell me, I'd be like, okay. I'm like,
Good one.
that is correct. You are right. You did start then. But now I feel like it's kind of allowing people to just go on whatever tangent makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to write out I used to have like 30 questions when I'd show up and I'd be like, I'm asking these 30 questions. Let's go. But now, and I'd refer to it all the time. I'd be like,
Yeah, I
looking
remember
down
you
at
had
it.
the clipboard. Did you do the clipboard?
Yeah.
With the
Oh, because I've
phone
interviewed you
anymore?
twice.
Yeah, it was the animators and then then just me.
So oh shit, you got to see the beginning of me doing that.
Yeah, I saw the growth from like you used to have the studio and then
Yeah, we did it in that creepy bedroom.
It was fun though. It was like, whoa, it's like a set.
Yeah, it was so weird. That was such a creepy little bedroom that I had set up when I interviewed people in there.
I liked the charm. I liked it. It was fun.
Yeah, I kind of miss it though.
Yeah, it's always fun to see like the behind the snes of every YouTube video.
Right.
Like,
so
I like seeing people's setups. I'm like, ooh, it's
yeah,
real.
I love it. No, over here it's cool too. God, you got the biggest mouse pad I've ever seen in my life.
Thank you.
It's
I
so
love
full.
it. It's so nice.
I love it. So yeah, you got to see the beginning when I would little kind of like ask the question, you answer it, we'd make maybe a joke, and then I'd move on to the next one. Maybe a joke.
Yeah.
And then now it's a lot more like I have questions for reference, and then otherwise I'll just have a conversation with someone, and I kind of look at it before I end to see if we talked about everything, but usually we just naturally talk about everything without even needing the prompts, which is weird.
That makes sense. Yeah. It seems. Yeah, you're like, I haven't really been interviewed by anyone else, so I have no frame of reference. But I was like, that was a good interview.
You haven't been interviewed by anyone else?
It's only you.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh shoot! I assumed that you had done other like podcasts and stuff like that.
I guess I considered podcasts different. I think your first one was the first one I did, at least that I remember. Besides, like maybe like an email interview or something, something that I never get to see the light of day of.
Right.
I've done podcast stuff, but I feel like they're separate in my mind. Where I like go to a place, I get sit down, I get asked the questions.
Yeah. Oh, true. Yeah. And I like it to feel less like it's a podcast because, for some reason, when I see the like microphone and headphones set up, it feels a little bit like I feel disconnected in a weird way. So I try to remove the headphones and microphone that's visible.
Yeah, you have
Helps
those
us
little
a little
clip
lab.
on the clip on the old thing.
Clip on the old thing.
And your staff is like really nice as well. They never.
Oh, thank you.
I always like when we did the second interview. I was always like, oh, they're so nice.
Oh,
I feel like I can talk like I'm talking to you, but also they're hearing. And
Yeah.
like, should I like hold back because
I know
these people?
It's always weird trying to talk to them. There's just people standing behind the camera saying nothing, not part of the conversation, just watching you.
I think actually what's interesting is I know that you've interviewed such bold and like out there people, out there / pause, but so it made me feel like me talking about myself, it's like you guys have heard like all sorts of things. It made me feel more comfortable talking about stuff.
Just knowing that we have interviewed people that have ideas and beliefs and hobbies and identities.
I feel like you've heard it all. So
Yeah.
what am I to? I
That's
can't
true.
bring anything
That's
any
true.
Crazy. So I was like, I'll talk about anything.
That's true. You're like, people already said some really strange stuff. I can't. Nothing's gonna come to mind.
Is there any like interview where like afterwards you and your staff was like, whoa, that was an interview?
Oh, for sure. There's a bunch where they're like, whoa, like I don't know. My camera operator literally comes to tears so often with some of the different stories. Yeah.
Is there any that do you want to name any? No need if you don't want to.
No, I mean I'm sure I could think of some. I mean, I know for sure when I interviewed people with DID afterward, we were all like, "Oh my god," because we saw Nin. It's hard to explain what DID is in like such a quick way off the top of my head, but she has alters, different parts where she will become different alters. It's
is it one of those like multiple personalities?
Yeah, that's the old name for it. Yeah, that's a much easier way to describe it. But we saw the child alter come out, and I was I did not know how to react to it. You see in the video fully.
Yeah.
But there was such rawness to it, and the child altar was coming to tears and just being so vulnerable about why having dissociative identity disorder helped in some way. It made them feel like they weren't alone. There were people to protect them. There were vulnerable sides of them that they could tuck away when they needed to.
Yeah.
And I never talked about this, but I got so overwhelmed and in my head, and my adrenaline was so up because there were so many emotions that I was feeling all at once that I straight up dissociated in a different way. But like my adrenaline and stress was through the roof of being so overwhelmed by so many emotions and being so raw on camera that I was so taken out of it. But that one afterwards, everyone was like, whoa, that was really just an experience. Everyone felt all these emotions.
Yeah, I can't imagine doing an interview and then suddenly like it feels like you're talking to different personalities.
Yeah, and there was no way to prepare for that.
Yeah, you're like, was it something going into it? You're like, should I prepare for this? Or
I mean, I talked to them a bit about like how they would want me to respond if it happens, because they're like I don't know if it's gonna happen or not.
Yeah.
They're like, it probably won't, but it might happen.
Yeah.
So that was, I mean, also though they knew that they could cut it out if they didn't feel comfortable about what came up, so that gave them a little bit more space to be comfortable. But no, didn't really figure out anything beforehand to the point where I knew how to handle that situation.
Wow. Yeah, that I remember watching that one, and I was like, that was a good video.
Oh, thank you.
Very interesting.
It was just such an experience, and we almost lost the footage because
no. Drama.
Yeah, because that very same day I spent a day with gender fluid people, and all the footage was transferred to a hard drive, and the person that was doing all the data management at the time, they had backed up that video but not the other video, and they took a flight and it got damaged in the flight, and we lost all the video. We had the audio luckily for the one video, but we shot that on the same day, and it almost never happened.
Wow.
That video almost never happened.
That's a bit of that. Yeah. That sounds like one of those Toy Story 2 stories, dude.
I know, I didn't hear that story.
Apparently, someone accidentally deleted the entire movie of Toy Story, but a pregnant lady on maternity leave who was working from home had it all on one of her drives.
What?
They almost deleted Toy Story 2.
Is that just like a myth, or that's real?
No, it's true. Why is this one so quiet? Let's give me this one.
Oh man.
That's like something like that. It was just someone. Some people say it was a mom. Some people say it was a pregnant worker just working from home.
That's wild.
Well, they accidentally deleted all of Toy Story 2.
Damn.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
That was wild. Oh my god, I just realized how red my cheeks are. Whenever I get overwhelmed, because I had so much anxiety knowing that I'm live for some reason, because I never go live. No, it's all good. I never go live. So I had so much anxiety, my cheeks are like, boom.
I can desaturate the webcam.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. It's fine. I'll roll with it.
Out?
I'll roll with it.
I don't think it's too bad. Alright, we can go on to the next one though.
Yeah.
With the knowledge and experience you have today, are there any interviews you would want to redo?
Oh. Whew. Oh man. That's such a good question. There's a lot that I would definitely want to revisit. I would like to do another episode with furries.
Really?
Yeah, because it was such a different style, and I think it'd be really cool to kind of get down into it.
Yeah.
I just interviewed LARPers who, it's very separate than that, but it's similar in the sense that there is a character. Instead of a fursona, it's a different persona that they put on for their different characters.
Yeah.
And oh man, I can't wait for that one to come out. It's so much fun.
You guys come up with such good ideas. Is there like a group setting of like?
Yeah.
Let's just brainstorm?
Yeah, there's some brainstorming that goes into all the different topics. And we have different subcategories of topics too, where it's like just fun, playful ones about learning about people's hobbies.
Oh, that's a good way to make sure you're getting like all sorts of vibes.
Yeah, and then we'll do one that's with a section that's like for survivors of people who have survived really intense stuff, kidnappings and human trafficking and things that are really, really heavy.
Your North Korea one was insane.
Right? Yeah. It was wild, and it was also wild how in the comments people were debating about if it was real or not.
Really?
If these people were telling the truth or not.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that just goes to show how much it's important to interview those people.
Yeah, I'm like, if they weren't, like, I feel like I'd have to be in on it if they weren't telling the truth, because their answers were so genuine to me that I'm like, I don't know, it'd be really strange for that to have gotten by me. But.
Yeah, it seems like there's like, it becomes an area of, like, intense stories where it seems movie-like. And, like, it hits the valley of, like, this is so insane that it can't be real. You know? Like, everyone is so sheltered.
I think a lot of us get used to the lives that we have, and we forget that there are wild stories unfolding all around the world that are so intense that feel like there's no way they could be true.
Yeah, it's like, well, I've only heard about that in movies, and that can't possibly be real. But in reality, like, there's got to be some, like, inspiration from the movies in the first place.
Yeah, for sure. And it's wild to hear those stories and hear people dig down really deep into them, because I can kind of tell that they're visualizing it in their head as they say it. So it's a really weird experience that I never thought that I would have, which is to hear someone tell a story that's so emotional and wild. That's just like, it seems like it's not real sometimes because it's so intense.
Yeah, like a lot of people, it seemed like, of course some of the interviews get very emotional, but some of the people are so calm and collected when telling such an insane story that like so many people could never imagine. That it seems like, how are they telling this story without getting, like,
emotionally invested almost? Or like
when someone is telling such a insane story that you feel like you could only imagine in a movie so calmly and collectedly, it's almost it's too hard to believe.
And I think there's two different reasons that people are able to tell a story like that, and one is that they fully processed it.
Yeah, of course.
They're like, I could joke about it, I could talk about it, it happened, and I'm fine with it. It made me who I am. I've grown. And then there's another side to that where you can talk about it because you've shut it off and almost distanced yourself from the idea that it even happened to you.
Yeah.
And I've heard people tell me both. I've fully processed it. I've talked about it fully in therapy, and I know, like, how much I've grown and all the benefits. And even though it was really tough, I've become a better person, that kind of thing. And then people have also told me, like, it feels like it didn't actually happen to me. It feels like I'm telling someone else's story because it was so different from their normal life, and that time period almost feels fake in their brain. They can't really hold on to it as a part of them in a weird way.
Yeah, and both scenarios, whichever they are in, just are so insane. It's just, I wake up every morning and I do my silly little routine and I go to bed, and the idea that some people are just experiencing the worst in the world. Just insane, and then they get to have a platform to talk about it. I think that's what it is, of just you're finding these people that feel so hidden to the world. Yeah,
no, it's true. And I feel like we're so used to seeing the lives of people that talk on the internet, and we're so TV and media, all that stuff. We kind of, sometimes it's easy to forget that that's not what everyone's life is like.
Yeah, I think you do a good job of, as well, like, You're pulling a lot, like, you interview a lot of content creators, but you also just interview random people, and I think it can be easy. Like, we're pretty accustomed to the cameras and just talking and stuff, but I feel like all the people that you've interviewed that are kind of just not content creators do a really good job of talking, which is really nice. It is interesting, because I do have some people that come on, they're like, I've never been on camera before. And I was like, in my mind, I think it's just become so second nature in many ways, because I've been on camera. I've been on YouTube for 17 years. Yeah. So it's been almost half my life has been on this platform. And I forget that there are people that literally have never spoken in a way that an audience was seeing them. Yeah. It's like, I go back to even, like, my first videos, and I'm like, girl, speak up. Speak up just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't even like to show your face on camera.
No, never. Like, when I recorded my first script, it took 15 minutes and my throat was dead because I didn't talk in real life.
So what's it like now? This is like, how different is this from what you saw yourself when you first started making stuff? You know what I mean? Like, could you ever imagine that you'd be live streaming with your face on camera for weeks?
No, never. Even when I started the subathon, I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And it was like, why did I just started making more friends with live streamers, and I was like, maybe I'll, like, it kind of brought the idea of live streaming into more of a comfortable spot.
Yeah.
And I was like, I kind of would like to start live streaming. Let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
And then I decided to do a subathon.
Has it been a transition being live on camera?
I was worried because before this, I've only scripted every single word I've put out
yeah.
And I was like, what if I say something by accident? Like, are people gonna forgive me for accidentally saying, like, okay. So I was like worried. I'm like, oh, what if I'm not boring? I feel like I have to be entertaining every second of the live stream, because when your YouTube videos and live streams are such different, for different consumers.
Yeah,
you know? But I think just going into it, day 13, I'm used to it now.
Really?
I was playing Mario Kart before you came on, and there was one of those names where they just, it was like a little Asian me. And the name was Miso. Do you know where this is going?
I think I know where the next word is going, yeah.
And then you can put any word.
Okay.
And the fact it was like the little Asian girl, I was like, oh, this is just a harmless little Japanese name. And then the second word was H-O-N-I.
Honey or honey?
The latter. So I just said it. She just walks up in the lobby with her tiny little me, and I go, oh, hello, Miso. And I go, no!
You're like, that's clipped.
I was like, she got me.
She got you.
It took 13 days.
Do you think that's clipped?
Oh, absolutely. The people have it. It's the people's clip now.
Oh, man. I saw someone donated, and they asked you a question.
Oh, let's go see.
Yeah.
This one says, if Jaiden
participated.
The people will never get me to be better at reading. If Jaiden participated in food fight, what food would she choose?
Oh,
a way back reference.
Are they talking about Smosh reference?
I think so.
Food battle?
Yeah. Food battle.
Okay.
Food fight.
That's
way back.
way back. Did you ever watch those when they were?
I'll be honest. I was more of a lunchtime with Smosh watcher.
You watched
lunchtime?
I
like watching you guys go to Taco Bell. Just a nice
oh my
consistent
god!
To come home from school, eat my food. you guys eat your food, and then I go do my work.
Oh my god! You and PewDiePie.
Really?
Yeah, Felix said that he used to get home from, I don't know, his classes or whatever, and he would turn on lunchtime with Smosh.
It's just a nice, consistent little thing.
Yeah, that's so funny. I had no idea that people were gonna watch me eat food and act like an idiot so often.
It was entertaining. It was like I was like, oh, my little ritual after school.
It's so funny because I could see that there are millions of people watching, but in my head I could never fathom that many people were actually watching and what that means, how many people it actually is.
Yeah, like the number on a screen is so not real.
It doesn't feel real, right?
No, it's like, wow, it's a number. Sometimes it's big, sometimes it's smaller.
Do you keep your numbers on for this?
On here?
Yeah.
All the numbers are here, but I don't look at them. Like, I know a lot of people on live streams have a lot of anxiety around viewership.
Yeah, so they turn it off completely, right?
I don't know how to do that.
I think some people do. I think they just don't even have their viewership on at all, so they can't see it.
I think I've been on the. I guess you can just like go over to like Nightbot or something.
Yeah. Oh, just like click away
or something.
Yeah.
I don't know how to hide it, but I think I'm one of the lucky ones where I just have faith that people still like me.
Yeah.
The number doesn't hurt as much anymore. Do you have any number anxiety?
A little bit. I feel like I go in and out of phases where
that makes sense.
The number really doesn't, because I've been doing this for 17 years and it's like the number meant a lot, then I got over the number and then it meant a lot. For some reason, I go through these phases.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm kind of, sometimes I feel like some numbers I'm like, oh, that's pretty low. But instead of being like, oh, that means that I'm worthless or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe there's still a little bit of there, but mostly it's like, what can we learn from that? That's how I try to look at it.
Yeah, that's healthy. I feel like as someone who's been on the internet for 17 years, you've probably gone through a lot of different relationships with the internet and yourself. And,
yeah.
And is there anything that you learned like throughout the years that's really helped you? Because like I would say the majority of people cannot handle being a content creator on the internet. It's like the idea of it sounds fun until you realize people can be really mean.
yeah, it's a lot that you have to, and that's what I was kind of commending you for, you know, going from being just a voice behind the camera that had every word scripted that you would do multiple takes of because you're so anxious, to live streaming to so many people.
I think I was just like, why not? I'll try it. Let's see what happens.
So, in terms of something I've learned, it's, you know, there has been so many different phases because it has been a part of my life for so long, where it's like it was my entire life. It was everything was making videos, making better content, communicating with fans, like everything. It was like 100% of my brain power was going toward creating content and being a content creator when I was at the peak of Smosh.
Yeah.
But I feel like, you know, as I've gone in and out of phases of my content being as popular, and then realizing just how fickle that space is, like I got used to my growth just going up and up and up and up, and it was directly correlated with the amount of effort I put in. So I was like, the more effort, the more this becomes all of my life, the more these numbers go up. And then I've had periods where I have made it my entire life and the numbers are going down. And when you do that, that's when it's attached to your self-worth, and that's when it feels really, really, really bad.
Most, and you're like, this is the end.
You're like, this is my entire life,
it's
though.
going down the drain, and I'm watching it.
Yeah. So then, you know, seeing the numbers go down and having it be your entire life, one of my only choices at that point was just to make it not my entire life, make it so I didn't really care. And then the numbers start to go up again. And I think that I've just come to realize that it's not always, you know, how much of your entire self you put into it, and it's not always how much time you put into it. It's not always any of those things. You know, you could be putting more time and get less views, and less time and get more views, and you can't really always explain why.
Is there any point where you're like, I'm done being on the internet? Any thought, like, or has it always been like, it's a tough balance, but I always want to be on the internet?
I don't know. I feel like I've always given myself permission to end whenever it feels right, but keep going if it feels right to keep going. So I haven't really thought about a finite end, and I've never.
That's healthy. That's a healthy way to go about.
But you know, then at the same time, I think there is the you know, sunk cost fallacy or whatever they call it, where it's like I put so much time into it that if I just walked away forever, am I letting something go that I've? Because in a sense, with creating content on the internet, you have to keep it gestating. You have to keep it alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to constantly be giving to it, or else it's, you know, there's no telling if you could just revive it.
Yeah, it's a lot of like, when the people don't like me anymore, they won't come back.
Yeah, and it's hard to know.
Yeah, when you've seen, there's been so many like content creators where you just see it not work anymore, and you're like, I could be that could be me next, and it's like a balance of like staying calm and collected, and also knowing what's right for you, what's right for the job, what's right for the people. It's all this juggling.
You have to balance so many different things.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna be, if you're gonna stay fresh with the type of content that you're making, you have to constantly be going outside of your comfort zone and trying something new. Because if you just make the exact same type of content that you're always comfortable with, because it's done well for you in the past and you're okay doing that, it, I think, becomes a little bit stagnant. You need to constantly be changing.
Like, it gives more room for, I think, I have this theory where, you know, for the channels who commit to doing one thing, the audience kind of comes in and out. Like, I feel like the audience is much more comfortable with growing out of you than you growing out of the content.
Yeah.
Like, it's why it's hard for content creators to feel comfortable and confident doing new things because the audience can. Not everyone. A lot of people are very nice and very open to new things, but a lot of people will feel like you're betraying them or like you're changing. Like, why would you change? This is what I like. But no one ever talks about how it's so acceptable, and there's no problem for the audience to grow out of your channel, but there needs to be a give and take. You don't want to just be a channel that everyone gets over and just tosses to the side. You know, there has to be a constant awareness of what does the audience want and what do I want.
Yeah, and you're balancing all those things, and that stagnation thing I think is. I feel like I've been doing my interview series now long enough to a point where I'm like, is it becoming stagnant? I've constantly been reiterating it. I feel like you can't really see it just from one episode to the next. But if you go from an episode now to one, the beginning, the first one that you were in, in I think that was like early 2018.
Something like that.
It's just a very, very different vibe, and it's definitely evolved. But I feel like there is always that worry of, am I appealing to myself and the audience and all these things at the same time? People are saying Mario trailer.
Oh, we're not gonna stop this interview to watch the new Mario movie trailer, people. Have a little bit of manners. Oh my goodness, Mario.
But Mario.
I don't even know if I'm allowed to watch the Mario trailer on YouTube.
Yeah, are you allowed to stream that?
I don't know. Do you want to watch it?
I'm down to watch it if you're allowed to.
I don't know if we are. I don't want to do it.
Wait, what? Wait, you're not sure if you're allowed?
I'm scared I'm gonna get copyrighted, and I'm not gonna. You go watch it without us, and then come back. What are you talking about? Oh, you guys! I'm just gonna pop this out. We can put them here. Put the people here, and then I want to make sure that we don't run out of the music.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
Guys, you people, go take a walk. Take a walk, guys.
They're like, but Mario. People are saying you're allowed to.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway. Mario trailer. Have you seen the first one?
The first one I did see.
What are your thoughts?
Something about it just felt so weird. I'm giving myself, like, I'm not saying, like, I didn't go immediately to Twitter and say my opinion because I'm like, maybe it'll grow on me. I feel like there's a potential to grow on me, but it feels so weird.
Yeah, it's definitely Mario's in the uncanny valley.
Yeah, and hearing Chris Pratt's voice through that mouth just catches me so off guard.
Yeah, I feel like the Chris Pratt voice line, like maybe in the movie you'll get used to it, but I still think that was a bit of a blunder. Jack Black was incredible though.
Oh yeah,
I love the Bowser.
That makes sense to me and it feels right, but Chris Pratt in the back of my head, I'm like, are they doing it for the name and star power? As much as the voice, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna have to see the whole thing to know.
Yeah, it's a pretty stacked cast.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. I want to see it day one.
Yeah.
If it's good, if it's bad, I'm gonna have a great time.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be a lot of fun too to just see some of those scenes that are rendered in such detail.
It was a gorgeous trailer.
Yeah.
The first one.
I mean, I grew up literally playing on the NES, and all that you would see in terms of Mario being detailed was like hand-drawn art. So seeing that just feels unreal in such detail.
Yeah, the Illumination, the studio has really come a long way with their animation. I thought the lighting was gorgeous.
It looks so good.
Really, really nice.
Yeah. But the voice is the only thing to me that's like feels weird.
Yeah. I don't know what the thought process was to not use Charles Martinet anymore. Just be like, all right, we're gonna choose Chris Pratt.
I've heard people say like it would be annoying to hear that voice for that many hours.
I guess so. I guess you can't have like a normal conversation with people. I see it. I feel like there just would have been other people more qualified and more excited to play the Mario role.
I don't know.
Who knows?
I feel like I'll have to watch it to know.
Yeah. Have you seen the interview where he goes like, "Oh yeah, I've been playing Mario for like since I was a child, stomping Koopas." He said it in like such a funny way. He goes, "Stomping Koopas." You sound like you didn't quite know. Could have been like, you could have been like a little groggy, not ready for the interview, but it was just a funny little moment.
But it's so funny to think that he doesn't know and he's just saying that.
I want to make this chat smaller over here. You can get this one. All right, well, let's go to the next question.
All right.
Oh wait, did you answer the?
What was it? I feel like we got off track a lot.
Any interviews you would want to redo?
Oh, I said furries. Yeah, I want to redo furries.
Yeah. Any other ones?
It would be really cool. So I've been doing a lot of one-on-ones.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be really cool to do an updated group topic with a lot of, I had famous YouTube animators, and instead of doing just a one-on-one like I've been doing recently with big names, I think it'd be really cool to do another one where it's just a group video again.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
That sounds like more of like a where are they now kind of.
Yeah, it'd be really cool to just like update that video and have you guys all be in the video together or something like that.
That's cool. That's fresh. Yeah. I like that.
That'd be fun.
That'd be really fun.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. All right. Before you established yourself as one of YouTube's greatest interviewers, what was it like finding your creative footing while bearing the huge crush of ex-Smosh guy?
Oh my god, that was such a hard period of my life.
I can only imagine.
It was like a good year and a half or so of just floundering. Yeah. Like after leaving Smosh with 22 or 23 million subscribers or something. Mm-hmm. Something that I had, it was so integrated into my sense of self. Yeah. Because I created Smosh as a website when I was 14. And then I started making videos, 17, and then uploading to YouTube, 18. It was such a part of me.
Yeah. How long were you involved with Smosh before you left?
12 years. With videos.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Damn. That's insane.
It was a lot of years.
What was that like, the leaving process?
Oh,
like?
Yeah. I mean, the leaving process.
It just sounds hard. I can't think of anyone on YouTube who's like done something like that.
It was really hard, and then making videos on my own, I kind of got in my head that I came from a channel with that many subscribers. People are going to want to watch what I was doing now, but the problem was I didn't know what I was doing now. Yeah. So I think the audience really quickly was like, this guy does not know what he's doing. I was just like making whatever video just felt right in the moment. Mm-hmm. I didn't really have a format or a thing that I was known for, or anything that became a style of mine. I was just like, whatever works. So that was a very hard period of seeing my views go down. I'm used to a channel with like 1 million views per video, and then I'm like 30,000 views a video. Oh. I'm like it's fine. It's fine.
I don't know, it just takes some time to figure out.
Yeah.
That just sounds like so much like trying to find yourself while everyone is watching. It's not just like people are like have been watching. It's like people are like, what is he gonna do now? It's like a lot of pressure.
I didn't realize the privilege I had of creating a channel and no one had any expectations for what we were. Yeah. We just did whatever felt right. But then after having this expectation that I was a sketch comedy guy, while still trying to say that I'm not just the Smosh guy, it really got in my head. Yeah. I don't mind it now. Now I'm fine with like if someone says Smosh to me or whatever, I'm just like, I think it's really cool that something that meant so much to me meant so much to someone else. Mm-hmm. And I feel like for a while I was a little bit ashamed of the idea that I was only going to be known for that.
Yeah. I feel like you did a really good job. Like, that title, like, I remember hearing about you wanting to leave, and I was like, I don't know what I would do in that situation of trying to shake that title. Does anyone, like, I'm sure you get a lot of like, oh, like the Smosh guy. Does that bother you at all?
It doesn't bother me at all. Good. Now. It used to.
I can imagine.
Because I was like, I felt like I was only going to be known as someone that was like a part of something, and that I got in my head that I couldn't do anything on my own, and what does that mean for me? But now I've really become detached from that, and I actually I appreciate when people point out what I've done in Smosh, because I love it so much. I've gone back and looked at and rewatched old videos, and there's this charm to it that it like sparks something inside me that makes me really nostalgic, but at the same time I'm like, damn, this is actually really funny, and I could be really proud of most of the things that I made in the past.
That's so healthy.
Yeah.
That's so, like, I always worry about people who, like, are in a new phase of their content creating.
Right.
And, like, there's a lot of people who are like, I'm not that person anymore. Don't reference that. Or, like, don't talk about that. Or they get, like, angry.
Yeah.
Or defensive or, like, stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I saw in the chat when you mentioned that you were going to be interviewing me or having me on, I was at a red light and I looked at the chat and I saw some people being like, you know, be respectful. He hasn't been with Smosh for years. You know, stop just calling him Smosh Guy. But I was like, interestingly, I don't mind it. I actually love having that attached to me because I loved making it and it was such a big part of my life. And for people to still connect to that, it feels really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so good. Yeah, I going into trying to come up with questions. I was like, do I bring up Smosh, or is that like is that something he's comfortable with? A lot of people don't want to mention the old you. You only want to talk about the new you and stuff like that.
Yeah, like I actually wanted to do an interview with child stars.
Oh.
I thought, or like ex-child stars. You know, obviously because they're grown up now. But I wanted to talk to people. Most people that we reached out to were like, we don't want to be associated with.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You know, the stardom that we created as children or something like that. And I feel like it's probably different when you were just a child star and you're just an actor and you're being told what to do by so many people. Yeah. But for me, at least, you know, when I first got started, I was 17 and I just turned 18 when we started uploading YouTube. It was all decisions that I was making on my own, you know, so yeah, I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. I'm happy to hear that it's in a good spot.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the next one.
Trying to see. Oh, the Mario movie looks so good. People like the trailer.
People like the trailer.
People like the new trailer.
Well, thanks for watching it and then remembering to come back.
Yeah.
Whenever you're like, oh, go do something else, you're like, please come back.
Oh yeah. They're like, they're never coming back. Goodbye.
They say it looks good.
Farewell.
Was there more Luigi? I'm so excited for Charlie Day Luigi.
Oh yeah.
That's the one I was like, that's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, I can't.
Seth Rogen, Donkey Kong, Jack Black, Bowser, Charlie Day Luigi. Those are the three. I'm like, those have gotta be good.
Did they show all of them already, or is there still a reveal?
I don't think we saw Donkey Kong. I don't think we saw Peach.
Look, more Luigi.
More Luigi.
There was more Luigi. Luigi spoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please no spoilers.
People are saying Luigi is there and he's hilarious.
Awesome. I feel like Charlie Day can nail that.
Oh, for sure. That's so good.
All right. What has been your favorite or most rewarding interview so far?
Rewarding interview?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I feel like it's so hard to answer that because so many of them have really meant something to me and stuck with me.
Yeah.
And I learned something from that. Even down to just, this is the most silly, it sounds like the most silly topic. I interviewed barefooters.
What is that?
People who prefer to be barefoot anytime that they can.
Interesting.
Yes.
Wow.
So like 99% of the time they're barefoot.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's like, do they say any exceptions? Any common
Yeah,
exceptions?
I mean, sometimes there's an airport that will say that you have to be wearing something. So they have like really thin slipper or like whatever. It's like a thing they tie on their foot or something like that. Yeah. And one of the ladies said that when she went to her daughter's wedding, she wore shoes to make sure that that all the attention wasn't going to be on her at the wedding.
Just for
the daughter.
Sake.
Yeah, for the bride's sake. Yeah. Yeah.
That's interesting.
But like even that meant a lot to me because there is this carefree aspect to it because they're being judged so much for being barefoot.
Yeah. That would be a weird, like, you don't think people are going to judge that as much as like
the
furries or the flat earthers. But
yeah.
Yeah, that's a little more in your face than just like the what they inside of them.
Yeah, it's not just like something that they do or that's a part of them. It's very outward. Yeah, but even that meant something to me because it taught me so much about you know, the way that you walk differently when you're barefoot is better for your entire body.
I've heard that actually. I've heard that like a lot of powerlifters and weightlifters use Converse shoes when they lift because it keeps the foot is flat. There's no sole in it.
Yeah, exactly. And then your body naturally uses your whole foot in a way to grip the ground instead of like just whatever support. I don't know. Yeah, I won't spoil the whole video, but that's a good one. That was a good one. I can't wait for that one to come out.
People.
Yeah,
that one actually sounds really interesting.
It's coming out this week.
Ooh.
Yeah, so if you want to see my barefoot, you know where to go.
You showed in that video?
Yeah, that's my exception.
You got a sneak peek. You only got a little.
Yeah, I'm all socked up here.
Did you like try doing barefoot? Did it change anything mentally for you?
A little bit. I literally stand and walk just slightly different because I imagine that I'm walking on a surface that's kind of rough.
Oh, interesting.
And it's been when I work out, I've been able to lift more. When I walk, my joints don't hurt every once in a while.
Huh.
So
wait, what did you change about walking? Did you just the mentality?
The mentality. I feel like natural. So I had some knee issues from running a lot last year.
Yeah.
So I went and saw a physical therapist, and the physical therapist watched me walk and analyzed the way that I was using my foot, and he was like, "Okay, you haven't been putting enough. You're basically your muscles in the last two toes are super weak because you don't really use them when you walk.
You walk inward?
No, outward. So outward, these two." We're not really. I was just kind of walking like this.
Gotcha.
So he recommended all these like exercises, and it helped. Knee pain went away, and I could run again. But I experimented by running around, by doing a jog, a little over a mile jog barefoot.
Oh.
And naturally, because the ground kind of hurts, you want to use your foot in a way, which is exactly the way that a physical therapist told me that I should be walking to.
That's fascinating.
So it just naturally, I naturally walk that way.
I wouldn't have. I've never even heard of barefooters.
Yeah, it's really weird.
You're like really selling it. And I'm like, I see it. Wait, do they not even do socks count? Or does it have to be?
They said that they try to be barefoot, but socks are fine when you're cold.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and a lot of them live in live in colder climates too.
That makes sense. Like you're not gonna go into the snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least put socks on, the fluffy socks.
Yeah. What do we got in the chat here? 21s.
21s.
What's
why?
that? I don't know.
What are you guys talking about? Go take a lap. Take a lap, guys. We do this thing where when chat is a little out of control or just a little too weird for their own sake.
What are they? Are they getting feisty or do they have sugar highs?
I just don't know what the 21 thing is. Go take a lap. They start using the walk emoji and it kind of resets the moment.
Oh good, yeah, reset the moment.
Yeah, some people run, some people run the lap.
Okay. Got it.
I saw some people blind walk with the lap. See, it kind of resets the momentum. Good job, guys.
People are asking.
Someone danced the lap.
Nice, nice. People are asking if the music is from Legend of the Seven Stars.
Oh.
Yeah, you're
nailed
correct. It.
What is this game? I've never seen it actually.
Wait, you haven't played Mario RPG?
I didn't have a SNES or N64, whichever one this one's in.
It was made by Square. Is it Enix or Enix?
Square Enix?
I forget if they're just called Square back then or what. But it was basically a Final Fantasy game with Mario story. It was really cool. Huh. It was really, really good. Yeah.
The Bowser looks really funky.
They all look like they're made of bubble art, you know?
I love that.
That's like how they look in the game too. That's literally the models from the game.
He looks like let me put up the thing for chat. He looks like a FNAF character.
Yeah.
Look at this.
He chonky.
Freddy. Bite of 87 as Bowser. That's hilarious.
He's so chonky.
I love the guy. Anyway.
Yeah.
We're gonna put it back.
Love him.
Back up here.
Love him.
It's so funny that you've interviewed so many types of people and you're like the most what was the question? Most rewarding or favorite has been the barefoot one.
That's just one that's coming out this week, so it's on my mind.
That makes sense.
It's so hard to pick one.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I think that it's really cool when, so I interviewed people that are faceless YouTubers, faceless creators.
Yeah.
And two of them just straight up showed me their face. Corpse was one of them before he had played Among Us, so he had a little bit of a smaller horror audience. And it's just, he was there in person. I did not see his full face, but the trust that they have. There's something that's so just knowing that people trust you that much to know that you're not gonna screw them over and show their face when their entire livelihood is attached to it.
Yeah.
There's something about that that's really rewarding.
Yeah, that's. Do you also feel like I know a secret?
I don't really think about it, but I guess there's a little bit of like
I'm the secret club.
It's kind of cool. Yeah.
But yeah,
it's kind of cool.
But the trust is more,
it's the trust is I think is what is cooler.
Yeah, of course. That is really. It's like you feel like you get to connect with them on a human level. It feels.
Yeah, it feels like a window inside a world that people just don't get to experience. Mm-hmm. You know, so being able to interact with someone who, so many people know online, but yet have no idea what they're actually like to be near them. Mm-hmm. There's just something so cool about that. You know, getting to see certain people who never even show themselves on camera talk with their full body and the way that they, and being so accustomed to hearing their voice. Because I also interviewed Nux Taku. And he doesn't show any of him. So being able to see him entirely in person is so wild because I had heard his voice so much. It was strange to hear the voice come out of the mouth. You know?
I imagine there's like you forget how many things you know about like a person with their mannerisms and the way they like present themselves. If they talk with their hands, if they have all these little quirks and that you don't realize are going on behind the voice, just one voice. Mm-hmm. That's cool. I know a lot of people say like, "Oh, I didn't even know what you looked like." And
do you still get that?
Yeah, definitely. Like it's probably gonna happen much less on the after the subathon.
Yeah.
But I'm sure a lot of people are, like I still get like at least once a day being like, "Oh my god, I didn't expect Jaiden right there."
Because they've only heard your voice for so long.
Yeah.
Even in your animations now, you don't really show your face.
Not really, and that's on purpose. It's nice to keep a split between Jaiden and like the channel.
Yeah, so that keeps you separate from your animated character.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's funny because some people, like when I go to VidCon or conventions or meet people, sometimes people will be like, "You sound exactly what you are in the video." I was like, yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
You're like, it's my voice.
But some people are like, you sound completely different.
Do you get that too?
Every once in a while. It's not as common. But I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
It's me.
I wonder what... I remember there was this one time specifically that stands out in my mind. Ian and I were doing a lunchtime with Smosh. We were shooting in a Chipotle. And we were ordering from this guy. And he's like, "Wait, you guys are Smosh?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Your voice is way deeper in person." He's like, you sound so different in your videos. I didn't even recognize you. Well, because I realized that when I'm on camera and I'm talking, usually it's like this. Voice? But then, like this is if I'm on camera. For some reason, I'm a little more excited, just naturally. Yeah. Maybe it's adrenaline. But if I'm just like, I'm like, number, just like a totally different register.
It's a different energy level.
Yeah.
You definitely have to sound excited when you're presenting something to the internet.
I feel like maybe it's just a habit that I got into that might not be necessary anymore.
I always call it YouTuber mode.
Yeah.
YouTuber voice.
Do you have a different voice if you're just...
I just talk like...
just a little deeper register?
It's like a little like quieter, softer, lower.
Yeah.
And then I have to bring it up for the internet. Use the chords a little bit more.
Yeah, use your core. Your core and your chords.
The core and the chords.
Core and the chords. I think I just got used to at the beginning of doing what I do, feeling like I had to be amped up a little bit more. So I get sometimes just without even knowing, I switch into a little bit of a higher register. I think sometimes it comes off as like trying to be fake excited or something.
Yeah. I think there's a balance that people have over the years on the internet had to hone in, because you don't want to be one of those like, "Hey guys, what's up? It's Mr. Gamer."
Mr. Gamer.
It's Mr. Gamer here with unboxing loot boxes. But you don't want to just like talk in normal day-to-day voice if you don't have a for the monotone people, you just sound bored, unexcited. People are like, "Why are you so tired and not enthusiastic?"
Although I feel like a lot of people probably are getting more used to people, because people are hearing more podcasts and stuff. Where after talking for an hour with your friends or whatever, you're just going to speak in the voice that's more natural to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I feel like a lot of people probably are getting used to just people speaking in more of a natural tone.
Yeah, I think it's just been a YouTube, like, over the year thing.
Yeah.
Say Mr. Gamer.
Everyone loves Mr. Gamer. I think that you need to animate Mr. Gamer soon.
Yeah.
It's your character.
Me trying to think of YouTuber names on the spot. It's always like don't know what's coming out of my mouth now. We can move on to the next one though. What would be a dream collaboration to do? Like, is there any interview that you're like in your wildest dreams you would love to do?
Yeah.
Or any video in general.
I've said it before. I guess it's my go-to answer because Bo Burnham I feel like would be the most amazing interview, because I feel like it would naturally get so deep into philosophical, existential thoughts with, you know, the political and just every little piece of the world that's interesting on a deep level, and then it would also just be so funny. Yeah,
he's so good at just hitting the perfect line between both.
Yeah, and I feel like his dry delivery would be so good.
Any questions that you would like have in mind to ask him? Oh
man, I haven't thought about it. I mean, I probably would want to talk with him about how he started off as a YouTuber creating content.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and I remember, you know, him just being a fellow YouTuber on the platform who had videos pop off whenever he posted them. It was really cool to see every time that he posted because it was so interesting and funny. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, he kind of stepped away from that to completely change his career. And I think it would be really interesting to talk about what that felt like, because for me, I've been so attached to, for 17 years now, having an upload schedule and kind of keeping up with about a, you know, video every week or two schedule for so long. And I think it'd be interesting to hear what it felt like to go to creating no content on the internet and doing stuff separately.
I don't even know how you theoretically do that leap. Like, it's so hard to do, but and so little people have done it.
Right.
It's just like, what is the timeline? What are the actions you need to take to just switch mediums completely?
It's interesting because he had to be way ahead of knowing that even though it looked like a bad choice, I'm sure a lot of people said this is a horrible decision. You need to upload to YouTube every week forever. Yeah. You know, for him to be ahead of that to the point where he knew where he wanted to take it and he was able to get it there. It's really interesting.
Yeah, that sounds like a really interesting interview.
Yeah.
He's not really done too many. I guess I'm not up to date on what Bo Burnham is doing.
I don't think he's done too many. He has some podcasts that get deep and some that are a little bit more like interviews, but I think it'd be really fun to watch one of those and, you know, just see the full body shot of him sitting there, you know.
Yeah, it feels like a lot of interviews, especially like non-YouTube interviews, are very professional. So putting Bo Burnham in your style, I think that would be really, really interesting.
It'd be cool. It'd be really cool. Manifesting it.
Guys, go find him. Bring him to him.
And by manifesting it, I mean every time someone asks me my dream interview, I say that, just hoping that someday it'll happen.
One day he'll hear
One
it.
day. It'll reach far and wide.
Maybe he liked lunchtime.
Yeah.
He just
if only. If only. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any rules set for yourself or anything you keep in mind while preparing an interview or doing one or going into it?
Any rules?
Yeah. Like anything that you don't, like, I'm not going to touch on this, or anything you actively avoid. I guess it's different for everyone. But.
Yeah, no, I mean, not so much. I talk to everyone beforehand and get a general feel of how comfortable they are talking about different things. So I feel like by the time I get to the interview itself, I don't really have to question that, which is good because I feel like if I didn't know, in the past I used to not talk to them beforehand. So in the past I would never know if they were comfortable talking about something or not. Yeah. I would just be like,
please don't be offended.
I'm
preemptively so sorry.
Yeah.
But I will ask you this question.
I do feel like I found ways to ask questions that never felt like they were. I would ask a question like if I really didn't know if they were comfortable answering it, I'd be like, do a lot of people ask you this question?
Yeah.
And then it's not me asking the question.
Yeah, then it's other people.
Well, and it gives them the opportunity to be like, yeah, a lot of people ask that question. I hate answering it.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like,
I didn't ask
it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just recently uploaded a TikTok of me from the furries episode.
Yeah.
And in the actual video, I say, you know, the username of someone that asked. I was like, a lot of people in the community are asking how do furries use the bathroom, and then the furry respond in a way where it's like, that's such a dumb question.
Yeah.
And when we uploaded it to TikTok, I was like, just cut off me. Just have it immediately go into me asking the question.
Yeah, the community didn't. In the short, it was you asking.
In the short, it looked like me asking the question. So people in the comments were like, "Yeah, that was too far, man. You don't ask that question." I was like, "Shit."
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Your shorts are doing really well, though.
I'm so surprised.
I get like everyone I ever talk to, like I have some managers, I have like other friends and stuff. They're all saying shorts is where it's at.
Honestly,
apparently they gave shorts more like a better split now as well.
Oh really? I haven't noticed that. I don't know if it showed up on anyone's accounts yet, but
I don't know if it's there yet. I think it's like rolling out soon.
Oh yeah, maybe. But no, it's wild. Shorts. My shorts will get like 3 million views, and then my main video will get like 500,000 sometimes. Damn. And people are so much more into watching the little cut up pieces.
The little clips. Yeah, I get them recommended all the time. I get a lot of the James ones recommended to me.
They're good though. I mean, it's kind of fun because it's a cool way to get little snippets to learn about someone's channel quickly.
It probably gets people more like, it's like little appetizers before you like go to an actual video. Yeah. Commitment to a video and stuff. I
feel like on YouTube before you had to full on commit to you skip the appetizer, full on commit to that entree.
Yeah.
But now you can, get a little taste of what you like.
Yeah, like I like this vibe.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
So I think in the end it's really cool, and I'm glad that TikTok must have scared, and Reels or something must have scared YouTube to be like, we're gonna do it too.
Yeah,
I like
we're losing them.
Yeah.
All the shorts.
I like it. I think it's a cool supplemental way too for longer videos, like you're saying. Also, a lot of people get big just doing shorts.
Yeah. Like. There's been so many creators where it's like, I don't really want to watch their channel, but I love their shorts.
Really? I feel like a lot of people do that with me because the shorts do so well.
Yeah, it's people love the little bite-sized content.
Yeah.
So everything's getting either shorter or really long.
Yeah, it feels like there's less in between, huh?
Yeah, but I want to do shorts eventually. I just don't know how I would do it, and I'm also too lazy.
You could probably do clips from your live stream.
Probably. I think I need to like hire someone or like find an editor to do it because I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm too lazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want to do the fun stuff.
I have a person that manages all of that stuff, and it's so amazing. We worked really closely together picking out little clips before, but now I just get to go to my TikTok and see what clip they uploaded. It's really cool.
They just upload themselves?
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah.
That sounds really nice. That's nice and streamlined.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are going to have to do that, which is, I feel like it's becoming harder and harder to get a footing on YouTube. Because now, if you're really, really using it most efficiently, you have an editor that edits shorts and uploads them for you.
Yeah, I think it's like, I think it's both much easier and much harder because people have figured out how to make it work. I have like a friend who made a secret second channel, like secrets. They made a whole new username. They didn't announce it. They're like, let's do the secret YouTube channel project and see how successful it can get, knowing what I know works. Right. And it did really well.
Really? So there is kind of a recipe.
There's definitely a recipe, but it's also like you have to know it works. It's a lot of titles, a lot of thumbnails, a lot of like analytics and business stuff.
Yeah.
And also, it's also like you just got to do the shorts right too. Apparently, it's like people have solved YouTube, and now it feels like you know how like the fitness community always says like this works. This is the like, everyone's got their own success story on what works. It feels like there's so much information that's like all technically could work in theory. So now people are doing all these different recipes. But I think it's interesting knowing that there's like been multiple like mutuals who have a secret channel and they just know how to make it work and it works.
I feel like that must make you so much more comfortable knowing that your channel could die at any moment. That's fine because just make a new one.
Yeah, just fix what you're doing wrong.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's so different from also like, okay, so this is an off the cuff question. You've been here on the internet since the very, very beginning of YouTube. So, like, YouTube is the most different it's ever been in its entire, like, career.
It's wild.
What has it been watching that? Because it's so business-oriented now.
Yeah. It did definitely start off as a site that was just... It was the Wild West. There were no rules. There was no such thing as copyright. When we first signed up, they were literally giving away free iPod Nanos to random people.
Wow.
And we want a free iPod Nano. And
wait, just like, how? Wait, how?
Just when you sign up, you just got entered.
On YouTube?
When you signed up to YouTube, you were entered to win a free iPod Nano.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So we won, and they sent it to us. We sold it and bought a camera or used some of that money toward a camera.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, but that's how old. Can you imagine YouTube giving people free iPod Nanos?
No.
Yeah.
Good. They'd be like, what do you think we are, a charity?
Yeah. But it's been really interesting to see it evolve in the way that it has to the biggest change, because it used to be all top lists. So you'd go to the most viewed of all time, the most viewed of the week, most viewed of the day.
Gotcha.
And it was pretty much all lists that you would go to, and that's how you would find content that rose to the top. The problem with that is that the only videos that were going to grow exponentially were videos that were number one most viewed or, of the day, week, year. And those videos would continue to get so many more views, and they would have just sat there forever. So when YouTube introduced the algorithm where any video could get views and find a new audience, everything changed at that moment, especially because they started rewarding higher view time. And click-through rate. Yeah. Because before it was whatever got views, a view is a view. Yeah. But now if you click out of a video immediately, it doesn't, it lowers the average view retention, and then those videos get recommended less often. Yeah. And part of the reason they introduced that was to combat clickbait. Because clickbait was so bad. Guys, clickbait was so bad on YouTube. You guys
don't know what actual clickbait.
It was so bad. It was like, it's funny because I've talked to Phil DeFranco about this. He was someone that got really good at it because YouTube, before they had thumbnails, you couldn't upload a custom thumbnail. It just was whatever was at 50% in the video.
Oh. Exactly 50%?
Yeah.
So he started gaming the system?
Yeah, he would cut into a random segment where he would talk about Babe of the Day.
Babe of the Day? Wait, what's Babe of the Day? Hold on.
He would find an image that he knew would perform really well on YouTube with the thumbnail.
Are we talking about women or like...
Yeah, women.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't believe he did that.
Yeah,
Babe of the Day.
He's talked about it, so I don't feel weird saying it. Yeah, he doesn't do that anymore.
That's so funny.
But...
No, he shouldn't do that anymore. Wait till Twitter hears about Babe of the Day.
No, he's moved on way past that. He's moved on way
so
past
funny.
that. I like Phil, but
that's hilarious.
Yeah, so a lot of people were doing that kind of thing though, where they would play something. It got really bad to the point where people are flashing an image at 50%, just a flash of an image, and it would be something completely different than what the video was, and then they named the title of the video something insane, and then you click the video and it was nothing like that, and then YouTube was like, we got to fix this somehow. We got to reward higher view retention.
Yeah. As an animator, I understand.
That was tough. Right?
I wasn't on YouTube when that happened. I started YouTube like 7-8 years ago. So like, I've been here for a while, but I'm not like from the olden days of the 5-star system.
Yeah.
But
wait, you said you weren't around for 5 stars?
No.
It was a wild time.
I was there when the channels were like more like you could change the sides.
Yeah.
And the subscriber was up at the corner of the gray box.
Yeah, that was like 2009 or 10.
Yeah, I think that's like when I started realizing there were channels, but then they quickly, like a year or two after that, they changed to the similar system they have now. Like the banner. Yeah,
which is better. Honestly, they used to let you change all the colors, like so it looked like MySpace.
Yeah, they're like, we're gonna take away that. You guys, a lot of you guys don't know the colors.
This is
like
way too much.
many of you need to study color theory.
Yeah, where it's like a bright lime green background with bright red text. I'm like, I can't see shit.
Oh, it's like, you know how like zebras have the stripes so the lions can't see them? I feel like it's like that. Where it's like,
bright red on bright green is the exact same effect where your brain can't process it.
Like, zebras.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. That was a different time.
That was a very different time.
Yeah, but like, even, like when I was starting YouTube, like the audience wanted authenticity. They wanted homemade vibes of a YouTube channel. Like I saw so many creators being like, "Oh, this video is sponsored by this," and then the chats or the comments are like, "Wow, sell out! Like, so awesome! Like, what happened to him?" And like people got really mad.
That happened all the time.
That's why it was I've never done a sponsor because
you don't want backlash.
I didn't want people to think I was like some Hollywood Hills person because I'm sponsored by Audible. But it's so different now. Like people will like be like, "All right, guys, you know what the time it is, sponsor time." And people are like, "Get that bag, king."
People are into it now.
People like they get it. They respect the transparency, but it's like you could not get away with it.
Yeah.
Like 7-8 years ago.
No,
people hated it.
Absolutely hated it, and Smosh was one of the first 10 channels to be brought into the partnership program so that you can have ads on your videos.
Yeah.
And we were too scared, even though it was just a little pop-up that was on the bottom 25% of the screen that went, and it was there for like 10 seconds and went away.
Yeah.
We were too scared to have that pop up on our newest videos because we thought people were just gonna completely banish us for putting a little thing on there.
That sounds terrifying to be like one of the first ones.
The first people to have an ad. Yeah, and people still call us a sellout for having a little thing that went Nope.
And it's like, come on, dude. What do you want from me?
I need to pay for stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, how dare you do this for money? It's like, I can't do this if we don't get the money.
Exactly. And like, literally this live stream would not happen if you have so much equipment that you need for this.
Yeah. But like, I get like there's a balance, but it's just a different environment right now.
Yeah.
Where it's like Mr. Beast with all these money and all this.
It is a lot more about money at the forefront of everything.
It's Mr. Beast becoming the highest subscribed channel.
Yeah.
Just cemented the end of an era because it's now like a corporation is the top channel, and there's nothing bad about it. There's nothing. Like, he makes good content. At the end of the day, he's a great YouTuber.
Yeah.
But it just shows that things are different now.
Things are very different. And I think it's interesting because money is at the forefront of what most people are talking about with a lot of these big videos, too. I know it's transitioned to a lot of, like, I made the biggest of this type of thing, or we did the wildest version of this thing. But the grand scope of it, I feel like, brings money to the forefront of that idea and thought, like giving away super expensive cars and islands and stuff like that. I feel like money's always on your mind when you're thinking about that stuff. So it is very different than the era beforehand when
it's like
different types of stuff.
You have to use your webcam on your camera. You gotta be in your bedroom. You can only do like Q&As. No, not too much editing.
No, it's true. People would get frustrated at you if it became over polished.
They're like, I feel like you're not being yourself.
And I feel like that's because,
what do you know?
Right? And I feel like it's because YouTube was the counterculture to the produced TV stuff. So I think people were sick of the produced TV stuff.
Yeah, people would be mad if you tried to play a character even. Like, I think there was like a Matt Pat video that I watched like a while ago, a couple months ago, maybe a year ago, where he said YouTube is now becoming TV, what TV was, and TikTok is becoming the original YouTube.
Oh, shoot.
Where you go to TikTok for all the homemade vibes.
That's
of
true.
Of an anyone can do this, and YouTube's the produced content. It's
that's
like a
true.
Cycle.
Yeah,
I think that's interesting to think about.
It is. Yeah, it's super interesting. I think there's always going to be another platform that takes that spot. If TikTok becomes too commercialized, I think that there's gonna be another platform that takes that spot.
Yeah, it'll be hard to see if I feel like YouTube's here to stay at this point, but it'll be interesting to see how it does that because I mean cable's been here forever. It's dying. I hate cable.
Yeah, I haven't had cable in so long.
What is YouTube gonna do to not become actual cable?
I think their shorts actually helped in a weird way.
I think so too. They're doing a really good job of trying to like compete with Twitch, compete with TikTok, be YouTube and stuff like that. And some people are like, I don't like it. I just want to go to YouTube for YouTube. But you gotta respect that they're trying to keep the platform fresh and available to anyone.
It feels separate enough for me